And we are now live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Wars in the Stars. I'm here with my co host, Alex, otherwise known as Candy in my van. Today, we are going to talk about episode 10 of The Bad Batch that was titled Common Ground. Uh, a slower episode than the last three. The last three, we had cameos from Rex, Cad Bane, and Fennec Shand. Uh, Alex, what did you think of this episode overall?
I thought it was good. It's just there's not a whole lot to talk about from it. As bad as that sounds, because like you said, those last three were banger of episodes. But then this just kind of, I mean, it was good. It was good. It just not much to talk about from it. I definitely feel like this is treading the same grounds that we've already done before, just kind of in a different way. And it's more or less the same story of Hunter thinking, oh, Omega's not ready to be a part of the team, and then Omega proves that she is ready. However, I do think it was in a different thing of, instead of just like not understanding Omega, this was kind of like a guilt thing, because the last time he brought Omega on a mission, she got captured. So, yeah, I mean, again, like compared to like the last three episodes, definitely not anywhere as good as them. But I mean, still better than most of the first half of this season.
Uh, yeah, I could definitely see that. The episode was like, I like it was fine for me. It was fine for what it was. It wasn't bad. It was just
Right? Yeah.
fine for what it was. There's some interesting plot points there, obviously. Um, it's just coming off of three really strong episodes. It's was in a bad position. Uh,
Yeah. Never gonna.
but
It was never able to kind of like live up to its own self.
I felt like it was just like a self-contained story, like we would do in Rebels or in Clone Wars, and it was fine. I
Yeah.
don't expect anything different. It's a 16 episode season. Not everything is going to be
Right. Yeah.
crazy story and action.
Right. Which is what kind of like when I go on like TikTok and whatnot, and I see people saying, "Oh, this is just a load of filler." Like, really wasn't though. It had purpose. I mean, is it already treaded over territory purpose?
Yeah,
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's again, it's necessary for the story that that we have these kind of things. I do wish we would have seen Crosshair in this episode, but honestly, I'm honestly at the point like if we get Crosshair, bro, I'm at the mercy of Disney. But yeah, it's just like it's not a exciting episode this week. It wasn't anything like cheer about, and especially because like the like description for the episode is the Bad Batch has their ideals challenged. It's like really only two people had their ideals challenged, and that was Hunter and Echo. Everybody else seemed to just not care.
right.
I mean, Tech and Hunt or Record just didn't care who they were saving. Just like, oh well.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I really wish when we talk about like, oh, are the ideals are going to be challenged. I wish it'd be like, have that separatist, kind of have like those conversations like we would kind of see in like, kind of like in Clone Wars, like funnily enough on Raxus with like Lux and Ahsoka talking about how what really different is there between the Republic and the Separatists. Kind of have those same things with them, but I don't know. I mean, just overall, just not a very exciting episode. I mean, there's been better.
yeah. Again, like I alluded to earlier, it was a self-contained story that had uh, some elements that were necessary for the characters. I will say that, like, I really think we got to flesh out some of these characters more, like Tech and
Record.
yeah, Wrecker too. I feel like we had that storyline with Wrecker, in the first half of the season, and then now he's just going to get no more character development because that situation's over with. Echo, I think, as of late, has probably been the strongest member of the Bad Batch,
Oh
like from a
yeah.
character standpoint.
Oh yeah.
I would like it by maybe the end of the show, Hunter goes away with Omega, and maybe Echo is the leader of the Bad
Yeah.
Batch again, or something like that. I'd like Echo to live. Obviously, man's been through a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been, I think, the strongest character recently in the Bad Batch group specifically. But we went to Raxus. I mean, that was cool. I obviously the homeworld of the Separatists. We see how quickly the things have changed. We see that the clones no longer have color markings on their armor. It seems like they're all back in their plain white uniforms. Uh, so that was cool. I saw some people mention that they wish they saw Lux. I mean, Lux would have made sense. Raxus, obviously. But I don't want the show to divulge into a cameo of the week type of thing.
Right. Yeah, which I'm excited that it hasn't. I mean, it was that kind of for like a few weeks, but it wasn't like Mandalorian season 2. So.
Well, again, when I talk about like cameos in these two shows, specifically The Mandalorian and Bad Batch, they all never felt out of place for me. Sure, there was a lot of them, but they never felt out of place for me. You know.
No, yeah, and they never did feel out of place in The Mandalorian. It just kind of felt like, who are we going to see this week? That is a big thing. It was never a thing of like, oh, you know, it was kind of just there because they were there. They all served a purpose, like Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker, and all of them. But some of them, it was kind of just like, you're kind of just like expecting someone to show up. And if they didn't show up, it would be disappointing because we've been used to them showing up now. So I'm happy that Bad Batch isn't staying to that theme.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see that. But I mean, what purpose would have Lux? I mean, maybe it would have been cool if Lux was the person they had to get out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know doesn't Lux join Saw? Is that what happens? Or
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he blows up. I think that's what happens. I'm pretty sure he blows up in a book or something.
I don't know. I've never followed his character. His character is always really bland to me. So
yeah, I just never really cared for him. I know like there's supposed to be a relationship kind of between him and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting if they like followed through on, but it's like he's like cool.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's just there, like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, there's not a lot to him.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, like, I would have really liked it to be Lux, because, I mean, the Senator also didn't have much personality that we had. I mean, then again, he's not meant to be, like, a character that, like, is a huge name or anything. It's just, like, Senator of Raxus. Which, you know, another thing I really would have liked to see is, yeah, because the Separatist was not connected to the Republic. So they technically did not have to listen to Imperial Reign because they're not the Republic. So, you know, what were they going to have to do? So I really would have liked to seen some pushback from the Senator instead of just being like, this is wrong. I'm not listening to you anymore. I would have liked to see all of a sudden. Yeah, I would have liked to seen the argument like, hey, we weren't connected to the Republic, so we're not listening to you. You have zero jurisdiction or law over us. We're separate people.
I would like to see an episode. I was thinking about this after this episode where we know that the leaders of the Techno Union, the Trade Federation, and the Bacon Clan are all killed. Sandhill,
Wat
Tambor, and Nute Gunray. I'd like to see an episode where we see how their leadership crumbles.
Yeah,
because Palpatine essentially takes them over because Palpatine and the Empire essentially own everything now. They own the banks. That was a part of Palpatine's master plan for the Republic to essentially take these over, and then the Empire would have them.
Yeah, and it's actually a funny thought that I thought about during this episode. And a thing that I would have liked to see is what if we get a separatist versus empire type of story one day, where it's a separatist standing up against the empire. Clearly, I mean, the separatists would have to, get destroyed, but still, I think it'd be a cool thing to even have the Bad Batch be on the side of the separatists, and in that sense, have their ideals challenged to, fight for the enemy, even though for 3 years of their lives they were fighting against them. So, again, it's something that to me about this episode I didn't like was the episode description. Even although it be a very, very small thing, it just feels like when you say, "Oh, the Bad Batch has their ideals challenged," really, again, only 2 of them did, and again, it was Echo and Hunter. I like Echo's progression through the episode, though, about him coming from, why are we doing this? Why, it's a separatist. How can we do this? To then, I think it was Hardcase's last words before he just blew up on Umbara. Live to fight another day. So I like that progression, but again, I would have liked it to be all of the batch had a problem with it, instead of Tech being like annoyed that Echo's annoyed, and Wrecker is kind of just like, who cares?
Yeah, right. Hunter has the interesting line where he talks about, I thought I would be on Raxus, just not in this way, which kind of like alludes to the fact that he thought that there'd be a battle to end the war on Raxus, because Raxus was essentially the Coruscant of the Separatists, which would be a cool what if to see if the war ended on Raxus. That'd be a cool what if Star Wars ever did like a what if animated thing like Marvel's doing. But yeah, I just like overall, I can see what you're saying. I know it's a minor complaint, but yeah, I felt like their ideals were challenged. At least the characters like that matter. Like Hunter is essentially the main character of this show. It's very clear. And Echo, it seems like in the last, I'd say 4 to 5 weeks, has probably been one of the stronger characters.
Yeah.
I think Tech is funny, but that's like his only purpose so far in the show is for him to have weird jokes, weird funny jokes. And then now I feel like Wrecker's character has fallen kind of bland since the whole chip thing happened. Like he was very frightening. We were worried for him. Now it's just like he's just back to Wrecker. I hope it doesn't continue that way. I mean, the show is called The Bad Batch. It's not The Bad Batch and Friends.
Yeah.
You kind of got to build these characters out because I think some of them are still weak. Like Tech is a very weak character from a character development standpoint. But what can you do? They're kind of stationary characters. They're kind of like, you know what they are. One's the technician, one's the hunter, one's the big man, and one's the other technician.
Like, I would have liked to see maybe for some development, maybe take them to an environment where Tech can't use his resources and have him have to fend for himself like that. Find out that he's more than a computer guy to the Bad Batch. He is a survivalist. He can do good by himself. He doesn't rely on others. Echo, I feel like a good story for Echo would be, have him face the traumas of the Clone Wars, and especially everything on Anaxis. I feel like that'd be or not Anaxis, Skako Minor, I'm sorry. Have him, deal with all that. Have him sort of like, we saw it earlier when he like got freaked out by the droid operating on him. I feel like seeing some of that would go a long way. Wrecker is a character where I honestly don't know how you would fix him. How could you make Wrecker a good character? Because the only thing he really works as is like a joking character, and it kind of sucks that the writers put himself like that. So Hunter, Hunter obviously has been fleshed out to, one of I'd say a good, easily top 30 Star Wars character.
He's definitely like one of the better clones. I will say that. One of the better
Yes.
clones. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. It's hard with those like big characters like Hulk, Drax, like they just become the butt end of a joke.
Right, and you
And
even
sometimes
see,
it works and sometimes it
yeah,
doesn't.
you even see
That's the
that
thing.
going over to Marvel real fast. A lot of people just think they're going to kill Drax off because what's left for him to do? I'm honestly kind of like that with Wrecker. What is there left for him to do? His big story with his inhibitor chip was well dealt with in less than 20 minutes. So, what are you going to do with him? I mean, his jokes only get so funny after a while.
Right.
His humor is definitely like Thor Ragnarok humor. It's like funny the first few times, and then it's just like I can only laugh at him being afraid of heights for so long.
Right. Plus, like if he died, if he was the first one to die, it'd probably be one of the more impactful ones of the Bad Batch because of his relationship with Omega, being
Yeah.
kind of like the uncle figure to Omega. And I guess that's a perfect segue into Omega's storyline, which is probably the more interested part.
Honestly, it is the most interesting thing that happened in this episode.
I still don't trust Sid. I still do not trust Sid at all. Sid
I
is
don't
sus.
either.
Sid is sus.
Yes, Sid is S-U-S spelled backwards.
Yeah, she's very sus. I thought she was gonna like rat them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope we leave Sid, by the way. We fixed the debt thing this episode. Let's leave Sid. Because I think the next 4 episodes gotta deal with like Camino and Cross.
Yes, I think the rest of the season needs to be them developing a plan to go get Crosshair. I don't know, how again, they'd have to somehow get themselves onto Camino. But I think that I think we need to go back to Camino at the very least. Like, I feel like they kind of like set up that they're going to go back to Camino with Hunter's promise to Omega to not go back. So I feel like that is either Omega needs to get captured again, which wouldn't be a fan of because it'd be retreading the same grounds, and she needs to be brought back to Camino, give them a reason to go back. And something that I'd actually be interested in if they went that route is kind of have it be you can either pick Omega or Crosshair to save. I've been watching, the Arrow still recently, and one of the major plot points is that the Arrow has to make a decision between two people that he loves, and one of the people he doesn't choose dies, and sure enough, the person died. So I feel like that would be a dark turn for this show, but this show is already so dark.
It's pretty dark. Yeah,
especially for Star Wars, I'll give it that.
Definitely, especially for Star Wars animation. It took a while for the Clone Wars to get dark. Obviously, as the age demographic changed for that show, it got darker. Rebels has some of those moments. Not as much as the Clone Wars or even this show has, but
right.
I think probably a Camino storyline. We know one of the final episodes is titled War Mantle, which is the Imperial project to implement stormtroopers. So there's got to be some type of uprising. Maybe we get like a Mando type of thing where we got to recruit some rogue clones. Maybe Rex. Maybe we get Wolf, Gregor, and like that's the reason they go to Camino. Because I don't want it just to be Omega again. We kind of had her captured already, and like I don't think we need that again. Or like somebody else gets captured.
I'm thinking about it now. I think if someone else needs to get captured for them to go back to Camino, I feel it could have to be Hunter.
That would be interesting.
And I think it has to be Hunter because it would have to not only force the team to figure out what they'll do without their leader. It'll not only give us it could give us work towards character progression to show, hey, the Bad Batch do not rely on one person. Right. They do not need Hunter. But they love to operate with Hunter. So I feel giving people like Echo that veteran status, showing him what they should do. Hey, this is what me and the 501st would do. in this situation when someone else got captured. Instead of just being like, because that's kind of my problem with the Batch, is it feels like they rely on Hunter too much for everything, the plan and all that. So, and it feels like Hunter's always being like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. I wish hopefully we can get some development on all the people not needing one person for another reason.
That would be it. That would be interesting, and I definitely think Echo could, because Omega would definitely be devastated if Hunter got captured. But like, maybe like Echo has a conversation with Omega about the Domino Squad and how he had to deal with losing his, brothers, Droid Bait, Heavy. He didn't know about Fives, but Fives eventually. And who else? Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. Droid Bait, Heavy.
Rex?
No, Domino Squad.
Heavy, Echo, Fives.
Droid Bait.
Cut. Well, who's? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I know there was 5, but I don't know their names.
Cut up. Yeah. Yeah. So like, have
I'm
that
sorry.
heartfelt conversation.
I don't know their numbers.
Yeah. They're a heartfelt conversation between Echo and Omega, and I'd like to see Echo be like kind of become the de facto leader after that, and kind of have some pushback, like where like in the Avengers movie when they can't work together at first, like they can't work together without Hunter, and then like throughout the episode they get better at it. But yeah, that would be cool. And by the way, I don't know how that chess game works. I don't think anybody knows how that chess game.
It's called Hollow Chess, but it works nothing like chess. Like the only thing similar to chess is that it's a checkered patterned board. But other than that, nothing
in a
else
circle.
Works. Yeah. So I don't know. The Dejarik is a very interesting game. We see it 2 times in the Skywalker saga. We see it in A New Hope and in The Rise of Skywalker.
We don't see it more?
Nope. In the Skywalker saga movies, no, but we do see it more in like Rebels and Clone Wars.
That's it. Yeah, that's probably where I've seen it the most. Yeah, I was very confused because Omega made 2 moves in 1 turn.
Yeah, I was like, that's not very chess-like.
Yeah.
I mean,
how do you know what animal to pick? I don't get this. Like,
right. I don't know. Maybe it's the combination of the pads that selects the thing and then your move. I don't know. But something that I found interesting about this episode, and they're going back down a path that I can't follow. They're doing it. They're hinting at Omega being Force sensitive. Stop. You already gave it. No, because that big question that never got answered. How did she do that? How does she know how to do that? Or where'd you become a hollow chess, whatever Hunter said. And right when that happened, I shut my brain off and said, if they go down the route that she is Force sensitive, I'm going to lose it. You just set up a wonderful plot line that the reason the Kaminoans are so interested in her is because she's a 1-to-1 replica of Jango Fett, the true brother to Boba Fett. Don't bicycle backpedal and she's Force sensitive. We just didn't mention that part. And then go forward again. No. She's a 1-to-1 and that's it. Because it would make sense that she's Force sensitive so she can see things before they happen. Just like Anakin could. But why? Why?
All I got from it was she's very intuitive. She's very tactical. Like Jango was. She's pretty much Jango Fett as a female.
It's not what I was getting from it. I was definitely getting that they're hinting that she's a Force sensitive.
Which I think would be stupid and then kind of almost to hurt Boba's character in a sense. Because what I think makes Boba cool is that he's unaltered himself and he's essentially Jango Fett. But he's cool and he doesn't need the Force to be cool.
Wow.
I feel like
Disney ruining another character to lift another character. They would never.
I mean, I just don't think it would make sense to make Omega 4. I don't think that's the route they're going. I think we've
I
already
know.
had the question answered. I think it's like she's
I
an
do.
unaltered clone.
I think that's the route they're going, and I really do not want it to happen.
Because that brings up so many questions about Palpatine again from The Rise of Skywalker. Like, what the hell were you doing with your clone in there, buddy?
Again, this is Star Wars. This is Lucasfilm that we're talking about. Anything's on the table, subject to change. Anything can happen at any point. Okay.
I really don't think they're gonna go that route. I think the question's been answered. She's an unaltered clone.
But then again, it's like, why not answer the question straight up? On Camino, that's just like we played the Jarek a lot. Okay, that makes sense. It would make sense that you know how to like beat people how you know how to outsmart people like Sid, but whatever. But that's just not what I got from it. I really got like they're most definitely going down the route that she's force sensitive to me. And if she turns out to be force sensitive, I'm honestly gonna stop watching the show because it seems so lazy and so boring. Like, please don't. Like, we already went through this. Mysterious kid is force sensitive with the Mandalorian, so
Right.
stop. No more force sensitive kids.
I think it would just make sense. I think we already had the question answered. She's an unaltered
I
Jango
do
Fett
too.
clone.
But I've also, Star Wars canon is also notorious for answering questions and backpedaling and saying something else.
I guess so. But yeah, I will say, when she walked, the way she moved, she kind of reminded me of a young Boba Fett, just like her mannerisms. I don't know why. She kind of reminded me of a kid Boba Fett from the Clone Wars.
She was being bitchy like him too.
Yeah, I guess they have like the Fets have a problem. They get frustrated really easily.
And when they get upset, they get all pouty.
But no, I really need to see a Boba Omega relationship. I just need Omega to be in the book of Boba Fett. I really think they set that up, especially with Filoni working on both shows. I really think we're going to flesh out this Filoni verse, as I'm calling it, and other people call it. And a lot of people have been
more that we're not going to see her in the show in the book of Boba Fett. I think it's more likely we'll see Boba Fett in the show.
Yeah, I think it's more likely, but again, they're not just going to kill Omega. Omega is.
I don't either, but
Omega is like what Grogu is. They're both like the future of Star Wars. Omega is going to be the character in that Mando timeline. I definitely think that, and a lot of people, shout out to my guy Star Wars Theory and Star Wars Santa, both have a theory that she's going to wear Boba Fett's white prototype armor, which would be very cool.
Where does this theory come from?
Because the helmet's in Sid's shot. All she has to do is take the helmet. Sid has the rest of the armor, most likely.
It's a very out there theory, but sure.
It makes sense.
Does it though?
It would make sense. It'd be really cool. Like, why wouldn't she?
It'd be cool, but where's the grounds for this theory?
She's a Fett, essentially.
I mean, is she though?
She is. She's Jango Fett, just as a girl, and that's what her. What do they call them? Enhancement or specialty? Like the Bad Batch have all specialties. Yeah. What makes her different is she's a girl. The chromosome changed.
I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like from a technical standpoint, they're siblings, but I don't think she would be like considered a Fett. I don't know. I don't think she'd take the armor. I feel like she would probably adapt the Bad Batch's armor instead of that white prototype armor.
Yeah, maybe she has that white prototype but repaints it.
I think she'd rather just go with like Bad Batch armor instead of Mandalorian armor.
I feel like it's just weird if we set up Omega as essentially a Jango Fett's daughter and Boba's sibling and just not do anything with that. I feel like that's really weird. And with Dave working on both shows, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Omega is going to show up maybe in season 1 of Book of Boba, but I definitely think she's going to be around in that timeline, and I think it would make sense. Maybe you flesh out the relationship in the Bad Batch. with Boba and Omega. I'd like them to be rivals.
I
I
don't know.
wouldn't want them
To
to be
me,
friends.
I also would want that, but to me, it's like, where was she all these years then? Where was she? Like, I think Disney and Lucasfilm in specific, I think they're more in. Yeah, I think to that point, I think they're really good at answering these questions. Well, where were they all this time then? Where was Fennec during Return of the Jedi, or during Empire Strikes Back, or wherever? Where were these people? Where was Ahsoka in Revenge of the Sith? Oh, well, she was on Mandalore. Or, oh, Fennec was somewhere else being a deadly bounty hunter, and the ISB wanted her, so that's why she couldn't go work for the Empire or collude with the Empire. It's because the ISB wanted to take her in. So I think they're really good at that. It's just like, this is a huge character that is just like, I don't think they'll kill her off. I just don't think she'll be a prominent character after the Bad Batch.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. But I really think with the Fennec storyline, they're going to go down the route that the Empire is going to take over Kamino, essentially, and they're going to figure out that they hired Fennec. And she's going to become an enemy of the ISB or the Empire. And then the Empire is going to find out about Omega. So Fennec's going to want to help the Bad Batch out. And then essentially, I think what's going to happen at the end of the show is maybe they all die. I wouldn't want that. Or they give Omega to Fennec because for some reason, or something like that. Because I think it'd be really cool for Omega to go off Fennec. And then...
I think she should just go off on her own.
And then, like...
She's capable of it.
Maybe, yeah. But I think Omega should be in the Book of Boba Fett in some capacity. It just makes sense. You set it up.
I think a mention. I don't think she should be in it. That's just me, though. I mean, the thing is like,
you can't kill her. You just can't kill her like a kid's animated. They didn't even kill Ezra, and they're not gonna kill her.
No. I mean, don't even question Disney in specific. They'll kill main characters off in animation. I mean, they killed Kanan Jarrus off in animation.
Right, but that was one character of what, the cast of 6 in that show?
They killed him twice in that show. He got stabbed in one. He got stabbed in a vision, and then he got blown up in another one. I mean, look at Rogue One. All those characters died in the most brutal ways possible.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Two of them got blown up. No, 3 of them got. All of them got blown up.
Yeah, Bodhi got blown up.
Chirrut and Baze got blown up next to each other.
Baze got shot, right?
No, he got. Dude, we watched the movie a few days ago. He got shot
and injured. He got injured and then blew up.
He got shot and then blew up because a thermal or a sonic imploder blew up next to him. And then of course, Cassian and Jyn just stood next to the Death Star laser explosion.
They got burned.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They got. I don't know what happens to you when
evaporated.
Yeah, they just disintegrated. Dead.
So I mean, and even again, like, Disney is not afraid to go violent when it comes to kills. I mean, again, in the throne room fight in like The Last Jedi, Kylo cut someone's head off, and then blows up another guy. Or
plus some dude falls in and gets shredded.
Yeah,
some dude literally gets shredded up. Like, but again, those are faceless bad guys, so we don't really care about them.
But again, even then, Rogue One is another example. Kill him off. Even like Dryden Voss died very violently. Like, Kira stabbed that man hardcore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so I just think like.
In the Rise of Skywalker, we see that dude's head. Like, Kylo just drops a dude's head on the table. The alien dude.
What is his name? I don't remember.
He's played by Mark Hamill. I know that. Mark Hamill does his voice.
So yeah, I mean, Disney's definitely not afraid to go dark. I don't think they'll go like DC dark, but like
Han Solo got stabbed, like right in front of us.
Right. Kylo Ren got stabbed. Now, unfortunately, like his basically got Control Z undone, but I mean, again, like we have seen some sick shit under Disney Star Wars. I mean, Kylo's scar from Force Awakens when Rey gives him is nasty. It is a nasty like blood, or not even blood. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. You can like see like
His face is open.
Yeah, you can see his face like split open. So again, Star Wars is not afraid to go dark. Again, another great example: Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, 3 limbs cut
That's
off.
dark. That is dark.
And then, not to mention, earlier on in the movie, Count Dooku gets 2 hands cut off and his head decapitated, and you can see the head roll around.
What's even darker is like Anakin's like face burning off. That's dark.
Yes.
Like his hair, his body.
Yes,
And then they have to repair him. They're literally taking his outfit off of his skin.
Yes, which again,
that is dark.
A very fun fact I know about that scene. They actually couldn't give Anakin any pain medicine because it could have killed him. So he had to feel every single needle on his charred, burned skin. It was bad. My
question is, how did his eyes not burn?
Maybe he closed them.
He obviously didn't, because he's looking at Obi-Wan like burning, saying, "I hate you."
But here's my favorite thing. Did his testicles get burned off?
Definitely, for sure, for sure.
Are we sure?
I would think so.
Because where does the food go?
I don't want to know.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Why? Okay. I guess that's it. I guess that our conversation's kind of divulged into whatever this is. But overall, I thought the episode was fine. Gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Cool to see Raxus.
5 out of 10.
What out of 10?
5.
Wow, that's low, but okay.
Sorry, I feel so bad because I feel like I gave last episode a 10 out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
To see it drop from a 10 to a 5 is so sad.
That's pretty low, but it was fine for me. Usually the lowest I'll go is 6, but unless it's atrocious. But this wasn't atrocious. This was fine. It had some cool stuff in it. Next episode is titled Devil's Deal. So obviously the Bad Batch is going to get the help of Mephisto. I'm sorry. That was a bad joke.
They're going to get the help of Mephisto. We're actually going to find out Sid is
Mephisto.
And then we're going to find out Crosshair is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And the TVA is going to show up and erase this timeline of Star Wars. It's actually going to erase only the timeline where the sequels exist.
I was just going to say that, yeah. I was just going to say that.
It's also going to erase the moment where Rey said that she was the Skywalker in real life. Yeah. So all the fanboys can be happy.
I'm surprised they haven't made an edit of that. The TVA arresting Rey.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird. Yeah. Overall, fine episode. Excited for next week. In 2 weeks, we get the rescue on Ryloth, I believe. So hopefully a Harrison Dula cameo.
I think she'll be too young for it. I think she'll be way too young.
We can see baby Hera. And what's
baby Hera, baby
Chom
Hera.
Syndulla? I definitely think we see Chom again because
we see
him all the time.
We see him anytime Ryloth is involved. He's always there.
And what's the mother's name? I don't know the mother's name. You should know this.
Nope. Don't know.
Fake Rebels fan. Fake Rebels fan.
They're barely mentioned in that show. They barely make an appearance.
No, I'm joking.
Who's been messing up everything? It's been Chom Syndulla all along.
We got barely any Star Wars news. This is the story from last Friday, though. This is from Making Star Wars. There's a rumor Obi-Wan Kenobi will fight at least one Inquisitor in his upcoming Disney Plus show. This makes a lot of sense. We know that Moses Ingram, who was casted, has been doing work with a lightsaber. I think Moses Ingram is going to play an Inquisitor. It would also be very cool to see the Grand Inquisitor, because it would make the most sense to send your best Inquisitor after probably the second most targeted Jedi after Yoda. Alex, do you have any thoughts about Inquisitors being in the Kenobi show?
Everyone's gonna F up some Inquisitors. But here's the thing: will they spin? If they don't, I don't want them. That's what I want.
I think it'd be cool to see in
away.
live action.
I
But
want to see them fly away.
I think people would complain.
I don't. I think people would laugh hysterically, as will I.
Yeah, cool if we see the Inquisitors. I think it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't fight him on Tatooine, so
No.
you got to fight him somewhere else. Which
Well,
again is
I think they can fight him on Tatooine. I think Obi-Wan's just gonna start like piling up a graves of the people he kills on there. Maul's gonna be added on there in only a few years. So, well, no. Here's the thing: is I don't think we'll see the Grand Inquisitor. He's definitely dead by this point. Well, no, wait. He dies.
Kenobi takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So Rebels is like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So they're 4 years later.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So it's only about like 4 years later. So definitely, maybe. I mean.
But there's no way the Grand Inquisitor would put up a fight with Kenobi. He'd be toast.
Would he though? I mean.
Yes, he lost to Kanan.
Okay, but he lost to Kanan, who was, first of all, fighting to avenge Ezra's life. Which also the fact that I feel the only thing that bugs me about that fight is Kanan would have definitely felt Ezra die through the Force, and he most certainly did not feel him die through the Force. So it kind of just felt like, yeah, he was kind of just like swinging for the fences. But hey, that swinging was some beautiful swinging. That's the other thing is like, could we see Kanan in live action, dude? Oh my god, I'd bust. I don't care if we see it in Kenobi, but I would bust if we saw the Rebels crew in live action.
We're definitely going to see Ezra. That's happening.
Yes, Ezra and most likely Sabine we'll see in live action. Probably even Hera.
Yeah, probably. We know Mina Masood is going to play Ezra.
Yeah. Oh my god. If we get to see...
That's exciting.
If we get to see Callus with his mutton chops and those beautiful hair at the end of season 4 in live action, that will make me bust 3 times. 3 just loud.
Maybe they rewrite the script of Rangers to be that kind of a show about Zeb and Callus.
Yes, and their bromance. Not romance. Bromance.
And Hera.
Yes.
Maybe. That'd be interesting to see.
That is one of the ships in Star Wars I never understand is Zeb and Callus. I do not ship those two at all.
I think they have one of the more interesting storylines in Rebels.
Yes, I think they're definitely like not enemies to lovers, but enemies to friends.
Yes.
Because when I think of Star Wars enemies to lovers, I think of like Kylo Ren and Rey and Mara Jade and Luke Skywalker. I don't think of Zeb and Callus. They definitely did not have a romantic relationship.
Nah.
They had romance.
You know who did? Finn and Poe.
Yes. That is one of the few ships that I will like support to the day I die.
Finn Poe. I'm not a big Reylo guy though. I know there's a lot of big Reylo shippers.
I didn't ship those two.
I'm not a Reylo person.
How could you be though? Because like their relationship was it's toxic, like beyond belief.
You thought Anakin and Padme were bad. Holy.
Yes. Well, no, it's like Anakin and Padme, they were just like, they were destined to be a bad couple. First of all, Padme's like 14 years old, falling in love with a 9-year-old boy.
Which, listen, it's not as weird as you think. Like, they were friends, and then Anakin became, like, older.
No,
like,
Anakin,
10 years older.
Yes, Anakin, she went from 14 to 24. Anakin went from 19 to 37 over the course of 2 years. Like, he became so much older, bro. I love Hayden Christensen, but that casting from Jake Lloyd to Hayden Christensen was not it. Because he looked too old.
He kind of felt like a 19-year-old.
No, he didn't. He looked like he was like 30 years old.
No, he did not. No,
not 30, maybe like 25 years old, and he was bitching like a 10-year-old dude.
You've grown more beautiful. Oh,
He's like a 25-year-old man trapped in a like 12-year-old's body.
The romance is really good in the Clone Wars.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
No,
No, it's not.
No,
No,
I
it's
was gonna say Attack of the Clones, but in Revenge of the Sith, there's some cringy lines still, but it's better.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's just doesn't. It's toxic, but it's like
Here's the thing: is I think Anakin and Padme have easily top 10 worst cinematic romances in cinema history.
that. You're probably right about that. In cinema, yeah.
I think it's so poorly written and so poorly acted. It's
How do you act out saying I don't like sand? That's just not fair to Hayden Christensen.
Oh no!
What even is that?
I'm not blaming like Hayden or Natalie Portman. I'm definitely blaming George for making them act that way.
Just weird.
It was
their
so
mannerisms
bad.
are so weird. Especially like when they're looking out of the lake, he just looks like a weirdo. Like
And then
I'm
he like caresses her back all creepily. Ooh.
Attack of the Clones is a weird film.
And people want to decanonize things like The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. At least those movies, when they have romance, they're not that bad. Like, Rose and Finn's romance
not great.
wasn't great. I mean, but it wasn't something to be like, this sucks, top 10 worst cinema romances of all time. No, it's definitely not like a good romance. But I don't even think it was romance. I think it was just friends, and Rose thought she was going to die, so she kissed him.
Yeah.
So, but again, it wasn't something that was just like, this makes this movie so bad. No, Anakin and Padme's relationship, I think Attack of the Clones is just a terrible movie, front and back. That's why when I say when people say, oh, the prequels are my favorite trilogy, I think what they're saying is Revenge of the Sith is their favorite movie.
Clone Wars, too.
Yeah. That's why it's just like, I feel like when people nowadays compare the prequels to the sequels, I feel like it's so biased towards the prequels because we had a 6-season show at the time to add on top of them. And the sequels had 3 movies only to compare.
I will say Revenge of the Sith does a good job in things like I think Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship. Alex and I rewatched it about a week ago or so, and their relationship is good in that movie. Like in Attack of the Clones, there's nothing. In The Phantom Menace, they shake hands, and that's about it. They shake hands.
Anakin, and like literally Obi-Wan's first thoughts about Anakin is, I feel like we've picked up another useless life being, or whatever, life force or whatever. It's just like, bruh, how are you gonna say you guys are brothers when the first thing you think about him is that he's useless?
Plus, like Obi-Wan, like reluctantly takes him on. He just takes him on because Qui-Gon wanted him to. I love Qui-Gon Jinn, a great Jedi. He's in probably the best Star Wars book, Master and Apprentice. But, does he need to be in that movie?
No, you know how I feel about the Phantom Menace.
Could have been told in a flashback.
It could have easily been told in flashbacks in Attack of the Clones. But what other purpose does that movie serve? I also think, there are, again, I am not someone who's going to say your opinion is wrong, your opinion is invalid. How anyone can say Qui-Gon is a top 10 Jedi blows my mind. He did almost nothing in that movie. He got Anakin, and that was it. He died the movie he was introduced.
It was cool.
I mean, I think the only, of course he had, major implications for Star Wars. He learned how to become a Force Ghost. But we don't know that. We only know that he somehow was able to commune, or how he was somehow able to conquer death. Do we ever see him learning about that in books or comics or anything like that? Nope.
Does he talk about it in Master and Apprentice? I'm trying to think.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't think he does. But we've never seen him as a Force Ghost, right? We only see him on Mortis.
Yeah, and even then,
that's because Mortis is
it's literally a planet
force.
of the Force.
And then we see him on Dagobah, another planet that's strong with the Force.
Yeah, which what's funny is that if you think about it, Mortis is basically like the ego for the Star Wars universe. It is a
Right.
Force planet that is basically controlled by three beings.
Yes.
So, because if you think about it, they were even how when it would become nighttime, it'd be super chaotic, very bad thunderstorms. And then when it'd be daytime, they'd go through seasons really fast.
And when it was the nighttime, the sun would take over, and when it was light, it'd be the daughter. And then in the middle of it, making sure there wasn't chaos, is father.
The father.
So. Which would be another interesting what if. What if Anakin stayed on Mortis?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is
what if Anakin's mind wasn't erased when he saw his vision?
Right. I think one of the other things is
he still would have became Vader, by the way. That's my take on it.
Oh yeah. The whole thing with me, here's my thing, is for things that I want to see in Star Wars, I want to first of all in a live action see someone create a lightsaber. We've seen it in animation, but in live action I want to see it. But the second one, I've said this to you before, I want to see a Beskar shield, similar to Captain America's shield. Because here's the thing: is again, we saw the physics of the shield in Star Wars way before Captain America in the first Avenger. So, I want a Beskar shield. I want. Oh my god!
You want Din to have the Darksaber and a Beskar shield.
Correct. I don't care if you have to copy the pattern on the back with the 4 straps and then the 2 straps that you hold on to. I don't care. But I just need to see it. I need to see it. I feel like that is the thing from Star Wars we're missing out on. Because, here's the thing is, Marvel Legends, again, I pre-ordered the Stealth Shield. Bro, that shield cost me almost $130. Disney, you're missing out, okay? Just give us a shield. I don't care if you have to make it plain silver. Oh my god, bro. I don't know what I would do if they started making that, dude. I don't know what I'd be. I don't know if I'd be able to handle myself.
You got to email Jon Favreau and Dave.
I will. I'm going to tell them that if they do create it, I have to get all royalties. Hold on.
All right. I'm going to introduce the next story now. So Leslie Headland, as we know, is writing the Acolyte show on Disney Plus, and she just did another interview recently, and she talked a little bit about The Phantom Menace, which was a movie we just crapped on for 10 minutes. But anyways, she says the reason it did appeal to me personally is that when I was 18, The Phantom Menace came out, and I was a very big Star Wars fan. I remain a big Star Wars fan, but at that particular time, right after the re-releases and the fact that I was in high school, it just kind of all coincided at a time where I was discovering who I was sexually. I was discovering who I was artistically. I was kind of realizing what I wanted to do with my life. And then this big, huge movie event, cultural event happened. That was The Phantom Menace. She says, I know there were varying reactions to the film, and there were certainly a lot of people that had grown up with the OT who were disappointed by it. But it was actually very intrigued by what George had started at that particular point. Leslie also says she wants to get to a point to where the Jedi change. They start to change around the Phantom Menace, where they're not as struck to their own values as they are loyal to the Republic. They're almost puppets of the Republic, and I definitely think this again hints at the fact that Plagueis is going to be in the show. Because if the Acolyte is taking place at the end of the High Republic, and we've seen from the High Republic novels that the Jedi just coincided with the Republic. They weren't assigned tasks by the Republic. They just helped out the Republic when necessary. The Jedi Council and the Republic were 2 different entities, but by the time of the prequels, they are essentially together and had to help the Republic in any war. So I definitely think I'm even more excited for the Acolyte than I already was. But Alex, I want to get your thoughts on this comment by Leslie Headley.
Her opinion's wrong. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited still for the Acolyte. I still think that in terms of the live action projects that we know are coming, I honestly think it could be probably my least anticipated, but it's still very anticipated. What?
The Acolyte?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I'm more excited for Andor because we rewatched Rogue One.
I think it was higher up on the list the last time we talked.
Yeah.
Acolyte.
I think
You think it's
rewatching
moved
Rogue
down?
One. I mean, here's the thing: is I'm still excited for it. It's just out of the live action projects, like of course, like everything related to the Mandoverse. Of course, I'm excited for all that. But like when it comes to the 3 shows that are outlined of Andor, Kenobi, and Acolyte, I'm just more excited for the other 2.
You forgot about one.
What?
Lando.
They're still doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now it's not at the bottom. Now that
I forgot about it, so it has to be at the bottom.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I want to see some more details. I know they're about to go. Didn't they say they're about to go into production here soon?
They're supposed to start filming at the beginning of next year.
So maybe they should start like hurrying this up because I want to know more information. Really bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2023 Disney Plus show. I'm really excited. I think there's a lot of possibilities with characters like Plagueis, with seeing a different time period in Star Wars. I like new things in Star Wars, and from my friends on TikTok to people on the internet, they've been raving about the High Republic books. So I'm really excited to see this time period. I have read Light of the Jedi, and I'm going to read Into the Dark and The Rise of the Storm here sometime. So I'm really excited to see this new era of Star Wars and maybe see some familiar faces. Like I think Yoda would make a cameo in that show. Maybe Plo Koon, maybe a young Mace Windu. Who knows? But I kind of want to see the end of or the beginning of the end of the Jedi Order. That's essentially what I want the Acolyte to be, to kind of tell that story of how the Republic or how the Jedi's ideals fell.
Yeah, maybe we can even see a young Palpatine,
which would be cool. And I think it could set up his own movie where Tom Hiddleston plays Palpatine.
Oh, no, no.
Why not?
No, he's too old for him now.
He's 40, but he doesn't look 40.
Oh well, he's too old. His back isn't. He can't do this spinning move that he did.
Can't do Spinny Boy.
Nope. Only Ian McDiarmid can. So we need Ian McDiarmid to come back. De-age him. We need him to do it again.
I love how in The Rise of Skywalker is like the first time that Ian McDiarmid actually played Palpatine at his right age.
Right.
Like he played it, like
he was too young. He played him too young in Return of the Jedi.
The re-release, yeah. Or no, did he play him in 83? No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Oh wow, I didn't even know.
He just didn't play him in 80.
Yeah, 80 was some weird
some monkey mask over
Yeah,
I think like a female or whatever.
Yeah, it was weird. It was creepy.
And then he was about the right age for Palpatine in the prequels. It leads me to question his age in the original trilogy then, because he was old in the prequels. Now he's gonna be what's it called? And then he'd be really old in Return of the Jedi, but he feels younger in Return of the Jedi. And then, but he feels super old in the prequel.
I feel like he didn't just age for those 23 years. Like his face burned in Revenge of the Sith, and then he just stopped aging.
Yeah,
for 23 years.
Yeah. But then, yeah, Rise of Skywalker, he was like perfect for it.
Yeah.
I also like how like Disney was like, yeah, so the one thing you're not getting in this movie is a lightsaber. So
Which again would have been weird with the dude who was on like a ginormous, stand
Well, no, even
thingy.
then, like, you know how I feel. I feel like we should have seen a Rey and Ben versus Palpatine fight. Kind of
I
similar
did
to
not
like
need to see
a,
that.
Thanos versus the on Titan versus Iron Man and Iron Man, Spider Man, and the Guardians. That's what we should have seen right there. Was a
That's
fight
fair.
that, well, not a fight where Palpatine's like, jumping off the walls and doing all these weird faces and weird sounds, but like kind of having Ben and Rey try to like have to like stop him from using his Force lightning on the fleet, which also is a bunch of bullshit because all those ships should have blown up on impact. But no, Palpatine was able to set an ion charge through his lightning. Bullshit. Yeah, that's what I would have liked to see at least.
Yeah, that definitely would have been interesting.
Young
So
Palpatine played by me.
yeah, you're gonna play. You also wanted to play the Inquisitor, and when I
Yes.
mentioned this on TikTok, you're gonna play the Inquisitor in Kenobi.
Yes, I'm also gonna play.
Hashtag Alex and Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm also gonna be playing Darth Vader.
And Kenobi as well.
Going forward,
Yeah.
they actually replaced Hayden Christensen with me. I'm also going to be playing Ezra Bridger in the Ahsoka
Oh
show.
my God.
I'm also going to be
No.
playing Ahsoka also.
Oh, you are. You gonna
Yeah.
replace Rosario? Yeah.
And then I'm also going to be playing Fennec Shand.
Oh.
I'm also going to be replacing for the actor who played Cara Dune. I'm too tired right now to remember her name.
Oh, Gina Carano.
Yeah. I'm also going to be playing Moff Gideon from now on. We might have some problems with the internet for that one, but we can make do.
There's not a problem with him playing a girl, but now
No. Me playing a black man, I can't do that. I'm white. I'm also going to be playing all the chairs that the Imperials sit on in every show going forward now. Yeah, they're actually all going to be shaped after my face, so they're going to be sitting in my mouth. Going crazy right now.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever done. Okay, so we're just gonna play every character in the Mandoverse, basically.
No, every character ever. I'm actually going to be Omega from now on. So, it's not going to be Omega anymore. It's going to be Omega. She's going to say it. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it right now.
All right. Yeah, what a weird way to end the podcast. Guys, thank you for watching episode 17 of Wars in the Stars.
Is it really episode 17?
Yes. We reviewed episode 10 of The Bad Batch titled Common Ground. We talked a little bit about the Kenobi news where there are going to be Inquisitors. We also touched on Leslie Headland and her comments about the Phantom Menace and how the Acolyte is going to kind of explain why the Jedi ideals fell apart. We will be back, tomorrow, possibly, if it is released on the interwebs. We are going to react to the Star Wars Visions trailer. We don't really have any predictions because we don't know what's happening in that show. But if we don't react to that, we will be back Wednesday here on my Twitch at Hammy Demand. If you're watching on YouTube, my Twitch is at Hammy Demand, as I just said. We'll be back on Wednesday to react to episode 5 of Loki, which we are very excited for. And we will be back next Friday for episode 11 of The Bad Batch. And we will have a episode review in Black Widow. So we have a busy week next week. I hope you all can join us. Until next time, may the Force be with you.